Before we have questions.
That's all I get, Mike.
Congratulations, Coach.
Golly. Proud of the guys, the way they just continued to battle, the things that we asked them to do all week, accelerate the process throughout the week. It was a 5-day week, a short week. I thought their attention to detail, trusting in the plan, executing the plan at a high level was really, really good. It's the first time we've had to go through a short week together. And I thought they handled it really, really well. And just back to the trust and the care and the belief factor that these guys have shown all season helped us tonight. We asked them to start fast and strike first. They did that. And then we asked them to finish. And that last drive, putting it together with 5 minutes left on the clock and not letting them have the ball back was really cool to see. The will of our offensive line, the will of our running backs, blocking on the perimeter, our tight ends was really, really cool. The ATL philosophy that we've talked about since we got here. We are going to play a lot of people. They are going to get meaningful reps throughout the season. And with the combination of injuries that we had, that was huge for us tonight because it was just a revolving door of guys just going into play because of cumulative injuries before. But even tonight, there was a bunch of guys going down. Nobody panicked. We just put the ball down. Whoever was in came in and tried to play at a high level and execute. And I'm just really, really proud of them. And just the resolve and the character and the grit and all the things that we talk about in this program and really this institution. You know, you see Danny Hall and the baseball team, you know, out there getting honored during the game, and that's what they exemplify here is just being gritty, being tough, and we're trying to do that every single day as well. But just really proud of the guys, the way they finished and played together, and it was really good to see. And it was a great environment. 8 o'clock, ESPN, under the lights, Bobby Dodd Stadium, downtown Atlanta, representing the 404, all the things that we've talked about, and building the program so that we're playing more and more and more of these as we go. And that's the goal. That's what we're building towards. And the guys were excited about it. I think they really enjoyed being in that kind of environment, on that kind of stage, and performing the way that they did was really good.
All right. Questions? Kelly?
It was nice to see the running game kind of get after it today, and Jordan had a tremendous game for you, and James did a great job on the ground as well. He had probably his best running day as well. Kind of what was set the stage for you guys to have so much success on the ground?
Yeah, I mean, it's a combination of a bunch of things. First of all, I think Dave Patnode and our entire offensive staff deserve a lot of credit. The plan that they put together on a short week against a unique defense that we had not seen a lot this year, the way they had our guys prepared, locked in, the smaller amount of cumulative reps that we had to be able to play and still be able to fit up the things and block the things and ID, the different looks that they were giving us. Hats off to the coaching staff. Hats off, obviously, to our players to learn it, apply it on a short week, and then be able to go and execute it. And, yeah, I thought JP ran really, really hard. And, you know, we told the O-line all week, get JP 3 yards, and he will do the rest. And he did it, and even more so that last drive, the way that he ran the ball. Coach Patnode saw some really good things for James in the running game, and was able to take advantage schematically some things. And then James is a tremendous athlete, and saw it, read it, executed at a high level, and then he's a dynamic athlete. And just the development of the player, a lot of the times this season, when James has been in the open field and getting close to that first down marker, a lot of times he hadn't had awareness of where the first down marker, where the sticks were. Tonight, you could actively see him seeking out the first down markers, getting the first downs for us, keep the chains moving, and really proud of him developing the player that way.
James, this year, you know, after he's shown, I guess, in his first year, the ability to bounce back after having a less than stellar game.
Sure.
Did you see anything that made you think that he would have the success he had running the ball against their defense?
Well, again, I mean, he's a tremendous athlete, and we had some things wired versus what they were doing, and whenever we got those looks, James took advantage of them. We had some checks built in, and James was able to see the look, get us to the right check, 2 of them were key third down conversions that he was able to check the play and get the first down for us. And, just his development and maturation, is really cool. He's got it's almost like a DB where he's got a short memory of the bad things that happened to him and is really resilient and just, goes out there and tries to execute the next play, the next week, whatever the case may be.
I know Sunday was obviously the day where, you go back, you watch the Virginia Tech game, and then you flush it. But to a certain extent, how much did you kind of see the guys come in with a chip on their shoulder today to kind of respond and kind of, like you said, respond fairly quickly in that first half?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought we managed the week really well from a preparation standpoint, from a mindset standpoint, and the guys embraced the things that we did to get them ready to play. And I think that you should always have a chip on your shoulder. If you're going to play in a big-time college football program, you have to have an edge about you that you can go ahead and compete and play at a high level every time you have the opportunity. And just seeing the guys develop that at a high level is really positive moving forward.
Right here.
Coach, you guys were really high tempo in the first half, but kind of slowed things down a little bit in the second half. What are you kind of looking to improve kind of off of the second half going into next week's game?
So we're still in the process. Every single week we've got to get better. So we'll digest the film. Obviously we'll go out recruiting tomorrow because that is the lifeblood of our football program. Obviously no specifics, but that's what we will do. And Saturday start getting a head start on the film for our next opponent, and who's a really, really good football team. And come in on Sunday and get ready, preparation, Thanksgiving week, all of those things, and play a team in state.
Coach, a couple big catches there in the first quarter by Malachi Carter. Those were his only 2 catches, but you were targeting him a little bit more, and he got himself open. So how do you feel like that speaks to his development this year?
Yeah, I mean, he's gotten better every single week. If you look back, there was a 3-week span where I thought Malachi was playing really good football, but the stat sheet didn't show it because he didn't get a lot of targets based on what teams were doing coverage-wise. But then once he gets the shot, he's able to make some plays. I mean, he is a dynamic receiver, and I think, and I said that even in the spring, I think our receiving core under the direction of Kerry Dixon has a chance to be really, really good, and you just see him every single week getting better and better and better. And the thing that I was really proud of, a lot of the runs that we're hitting were a direct correlation between how where the receivers were blocking downfield and taking pride in that part of their game. So, but really proud of Malachi and who he's developing into.
Marion, tied Calvin tonight with the freshman touchdowns of 7, and his few catches were touchdowns on plays where he just flat out beat a guy with his speed. Can you just talk about his role, and then also he did a good job with punt return and the kick return game for you as well?
Yeah, so that speaks back to a lot of injuries that we've had to go through, and we had some guys that really stepped up in a big way on special teams tonight. I'm really glad. So most places I've ever been goes 2 deep on special teams, and you limit it right there. We do it every single week. We have a 3D plan every single week on all of our special teams. And with the way things were going, with guys going down, we needed that. Amari and Jarrett, what he did for us tonight, understanding our entire kickoff return scheme. I think he played 3 different kickoff return positions tonight and did it admirably. But yeah, Marion Brown's a really good player. He's got electric speed. But the thing that I really admire the most is what a great teammate he is, what a tremendous worker he is, and even though he's got amazing physical skills, it's the character piece and the work ethic piece that moving forward is really going to set him apart with big-time elite receivers in college football, and I think he's working his way to becoming one of those.
Ken?
Geoff, I thought a big moment was after James home for the first time, he got the 3 and out, and then enabled you to get the ball midfield, which gave you the kind of field position you haven't gotten lately. It was kind of, I guess, the complementary football, that you'd like to try to play.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just think the I know I talk about it, Jalen Askew and Nathan Cottrell every single week, but the fact that they have on the game kickoff coverage and punt coverage affords us the opportunity to go max protection on the punt team, because we have two elite gunners that can run down the field, and Presley's booming the ball, but they can cover at a high level, make the returner a little nervous because they are down there so fast, and it's really nice to have two elite gunners like Jalen and Nate on this football team.
Time for a few more. Go Rod, Kelly.
Jordan Dominic, 10 tackles tonight. He's a guy that's really started to come on, it seems like, the last 3 or 4 games. Could you talk about what he's done in practice to get where he is now?
Yeah, just the development of the player, the maturity level that he's started to grow into. Wasn't playing for us the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season, and now that he's back in a role, just really proud of him. The job Marco Coleman has done with him to get him ready to play, and we had some. I won't say specifics, but he and I had some nice moments tonight, just talking about in-game, real-time, his maturation and his development and how far he's come in just a 2-month period is really amazing. Those are the things that as a college football coach that you really take pride in when guys recognize that their growth and their development has to do with being a part of our culture, being a part of our program, and was doing it in real time during the game was really cool.
I know you don't talk about injuries, but defensively in the front 6, I guess you would say, you are just throttled with injuries. And the 2 guys who started tonight were not even playing the first half of the season, basically. And can you just talk about how much that impacted the defensive performance tonight? Because it was, you're kind of getting run right down your throat a little bit, and I imagine it's hard to coach around those type of injuries.
I'm really proud of them. The resolve, the resiliency is just our philosophy in this program is just next man up. We don't worry about a lot of things that a lot of people out in the outside world would worry about. We just want to coach our guys, love our guys, develop our guys, and whoever has to line up for us and play, we expect them to play at a high level. And we understand the situation. We don't dwell on it. There's no point in it. All we got to do is get them to play as good as they can, compete, fight, have great effort, have great energy, and they do that. Any growing pains that might be associated with that, that's fine. We're going to live with it, and we're just going to put the ball down and play the next play, and I'll roll guys in, and nobody worries about it. Nobody in our program even thinks about it. They just make the calls, get the calls from Coach Thacker, apply the defense, make the checks, and then go out and execute their assignment at a high level. And with that, sometimes there's going to be some bust playing young guys that don't have cumulative reps. But that's the way it is. That's okay. We're going to get better moving forward because they are playing with the right demeanor. They are playing with the right attitude, tremendous effort, great energy, and that's what we expect from our guys, and we're really, really proud of them.
Ashley, last one.
I know you said in the past that during practices you put the team through tough situations or situations where they have to overcome adversity. How do you see that transfer into the game tonight?
Yeah, it's everything in our program. We spent. There was a lot of talk, some good things written about Tyler Davis and his contribution to this culture and to this program, and what him and Jared Southers have meant to developing a culture, laying the groundwork, laying the foundation for all the future success that we're going to have. And it begins in the off season with Coach Corrala, the bonds that we form with the coaching staff across all positions, the relationships that we form with every member of our staff, with every player on our team, those kind of things. The resiliency shows up, and the bonds that are formed because you don't want to let somebody down that you care so much about. And that's what we have in that locker room. And it will just continue to get stronger and stronger and stronger as we move forward. And the foundation that our 8 seniors have laid for this program is really special. And I'm so happy that their last night game in Bobby Dodd under the lights on ESPN was a win. And because they've worked for it, they've earned it, and they're going to mean a lot to this program for a long, long time.
Okay.